Hello, hello, good morning, and welcome to Your Business in Digital. I am Michael Wilshire, and I am Director of Sales and Operations at Monovan Digital. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday morning. Michelle, Andrea, good morning. Good morning. How are you all doing this morning? Michelle, you first. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. It is pre trifecta for me, as they
That's
say in
right.
Nashville. It is Thanksgiving here in the United States, but for me, it's also my birthday and my wedding anniversary. So it's a big celebration.
Definitely. So happy birthday, happy Thanksgiving, and happy anniversary. It's great stuff.
I
And
know it's weird, right?
Morning. So I'm gonna say this. Happy birth giveversary.
Give anniversary. That's good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Happy giveversary. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, Michelle. I'm doing really well. Can't wait for year end to just, to breathe and relax. So waiting with bated breath.
All right, all right. I hear you. So, well, let's get into it this morning. Thanks for joining us. If you're joining us on any of the platforms that we are on, we are here to talk more about the platform takeover, where we are talking about some of our favorite platforms and some of the latest things that are happening with them. So, before we do that, and I know I'm just not seeing something in the back here. I'm trying to manage this whole show this morning, so just bear with me. But first of all, I want you to connect with us. Make sure and connect with us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Subscribe anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. We definitely want you to be part of our world and get the benefit of the insights that we give on a regular basis. So, what's really happening in the background is that I'm not seeing our videos, our intro videos. I don't know where they've gone. So, I guess we're going to jump right in. I think we got one of those mornings. So, in case you're wondering, Tamara is just a little bit under the weather, so she's not joining us this morning. Tamara, we hope you feel better for sure. We've all been there and we know how it feels not to be 100%. So hope you feel better. So I guess we're going to jump right into our topics this morning. I just don't know what's happening. Technology is playing games with me this morning. So we're going to start with Pinterest. And Pinterest's record-breaking growth with 15 million new users and innovations in AI-powered shopping tools. So we're going to talk about their rise and their focus on the global ad market. So let's get into Pinterest. So Pinterest added 15 million users in Q3 this year, reaching 537 million users, monthly average users. And they've started AI powered body type filters and ad creation tools to enhance that shopping experience. So, what are some takeaways from that? Well, you've got to focus on visual commerce. In high quality, visually appealing content, that is what attracts shoppers on Pinterest. So you've got to focus there. If you're doing e-commerce, especially visual commerce, Michelle is a fan of saying it, we buy with our eyes, right? And you can target global markets. So US and European Union growth is stable, but you can now explore opportunities in emerging markets with Pinterest ads. Now, who doesn't want to do that? I know, and Andrea's nodding it. Andrea, I know what you're going to say, so I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let you say it. And of course, you want to embrace those AI-driven tools. A lot of what we're going to talk about this morning, you're going to hear AI a lot this morning, but you want to use those AI-driven filters and ad tools to improve the relevance of and appeal of your product listings. So, as I said, we buy with our eyes, right? So we want to make sure that we are leveraging all these AI tools within these platforms to that are marrying the data with what is appealing, what will sell. So that's just what's happening on Pinterest. We haven't spoken Pinterest for a while, but we know Pinterest to be that great traffic generator for sure. So I will let you all start your comments. Michelle, you first.
I think this one is interesting, and I actually, true confessions time. It has been a minute since I've actually been in Pinterest with so many other applications and platforms that have been coming my way. I've kind of put it on the side, and find that I'm the person that goes to that area again when I'm looking for something like clothes or something of that nature. And I enjoy it because it really does serve as almost a search engine for me when I'm looking for something at special occasion, like when I went to do a photo shoot and was trying to cobble together different looks or specific poses or a ball gown that or special event type of outfit. And I found that it served a really strong purpose for me, that it kind of filtered out the noise, one of the other things that I like to say, and it served up to me everything that I wanted, and then consistently would place things on of interest to me and provide it to me almost like direct response marketing, and that it said these are the things that I find that's interest to you. So I like that it's given the body filter as well, and allowing, as we have been speaking in the last couple of weeks, thanks to the election here in the United States, the ability to look at other markets. If there's other emerging markets, it's fascinating that it's serving that up to us and saying, hello, we finally got our technology together and for advertising, and can serve your business up beyond the typical of what we typically see. So I'm enjoying and find it intriguing because we have learned too, as we're trying to shop affordably, that the best of the goods and a lot of talented creative people are coming from other areas that we're simply not exposed to. So I think it's really nice to see something different and something new and interesting happening in Pinterest, especially as we're in the biggest shopping season of the year.
For sure, the biggest shopping season by far, right? Not even like by a little bit, but the biggest shopping season by far. Andrea, what are your comments and thoughts on Pinterest?
So Pinterest has always been a bit of a fascination for me. I like, the genesis of it, as we all know, is just kind of organizing your thoughts, right? You have to, you're planning something, and, it's like this big, and I guess that's where they got the name from, the big pinboard of ideas, right? But I love that they're taking the step forward now and saying, well, after you've done all of this thinking and organizing, here's how let's take it a step further. Let's connect you with the buyer. Let's close the gap, and let's open up all these markets for you. So you're not now relegated to just your local area or what you are accustomed to, your traditional. So I think there's a big opportunity for Caribbean based businesses to really look into Pinterest and see where they could get connected, because here, and I could speak for what I see here in Trinidad, we don't really interact with Pinterest that way. We use Pinterest for the original way of organizing thoughts, right? Everybody has a board, they think about it, but they might take what's on the board and then physically go look for whatever the item is. They may not take the step fully. So it's very interesting now that you have that app. I see Pinterest as a little secret weapon, if you will, that unknown gem of, do you know that you could connect to people through this way? And as a small business, these are the little opportunities that could turn into big opportunities if you play your cards right. So, and Michelle said, they do a good job of peeling away the noise, because we all know traditional social media is noisy, it's loud, and you go in Instagram, it's everything coming at you. So Pinterest is that nice space where you could have an organized flow of thoughts towards a purchase. So, and that buyer um is very warm to you now, because they would have seen seen all what you had to offer, would have spent their time and their research. So then to be able to click to make that purchase, to close that gap now for them, I think it opens up the door, because I think that's definitely going to be somebody who could be a repeat customer for you. After could think about, if you have gone through this whole process of researching and stick it up on the board, and then eventually buy. I feel like Pinterest people are more serious people. I don't know if Michelle would agree with me.
I agree with you, because it is, think about the way we search for things, and it's been proven about how we, in any search engine, it's I'm looking for a blue dress. but this one is far more visual. It was like when we were talking about Google Lens a while ago. If you can't find the descriptive words, you're uploading a picture. And if you can't upload a picture, Pinterest goes one farther and it serves a picture to you so that you have the visual to help you to say, yes, that's what I was looking for. I think of other things like if you're trying to decorate an office or a room or something that they go one step further, or I should say, the people that are on Pinterest that are trying to sell something to you are serving up those goods to you in a way that says, I know that you can't put the pieces and parts together, so let me deliver it to you. Let me put it in a way that makes you feel like you are Mike, I can't remember, you'll have to remind me of one of the AI platforms that you can say, you want to visualize it in your room, then take the picture of the room and it's there. Well, they do one better. They serve it up to you and say, here are all the things you're looking for in that room. And by the way, click on this if you want to buy that chair or if you want to buy that lamp. So they actually make it easy for you to shop as well, because they put the descriptors, they put the actual place that you can buy from. So it actually escalates the sales process because it's placing it there for you. So from a seller's perspective, from a sales perspective, it moves things forward and it actually almost removes a pricing barrier out of your way because the aspirational piece is delivered to you and it's emotional at that point. It is like, I don't care what it costs. You have just made it easy for me to buy. You're answering, the FAQs are there for you as well. So for me, when you're trying to buy something, I think Pinterest is really great, especially when you're trying to visualize something, because they take the mystery out of it for you, and then they make it easy for you to execute the sale as well.
This is how tomorrow feels listening to the team talk. I get it. I get it. You all agreed. And I just want to close it off by, talking about that AI-driven ads and so in Pinterest. So in addition to what we're all saying, there's that opportunity, of course, if you're entering a new market or a new region, and it doesn't have to be brand new, you're just targeting a new audience. Think of how much faster now you can build that relevance with that audience. You're not shooting in the dark. You're not trying to make an ad and saying, well, okay, then let me see. I think they will like this ad. I think they will like it in this way. So that is definitely something that's going to speed you up, getting in front of your desired audiences, whether they're existing or otherwise, if they're new. And that takes us to our next platform that we're going to be talking about. And Michelle, I'm going to pass it over to you. And we're going to be talking about Highbrow. And Highbrow is a micro-learning platform that provides short email-based courses on a variety of topics and an affordable and easy way for professionals to continuously learn and grow. This sounds interesting. Michelle.
Yeah. I thought it was, as we were talking about platform takeover and where we wanted to focus our attention, we tend to talk about things that are going to move our business forward and bring our customers to us. One of the things that serves me well in what I do with Lanyap is there's a lot of learning that has to happen. And for a lot of small businesses, we know our business really well, but there are nuances to running a small business that are often not in our wheelhouse. So there is a learning component to it. And many of us, trying to go back to school to learn those things are really difficult. Or some people actually walk into the space and they're fully knowledgeable, but there's that continuing learning aspect that we have to keep at the forefront to keep our skills sharp and to ensure that we're up on everything. And one of the things that Highbrow does is it affords you, from a busy person's perspective, to learn things in bite-sized ways and served up to you actually in email. So if you're an independent learner, this is one of the great things, because there is an extensive library. I think there's about 300 courses, and there's over 3,000 lessons that's served up across a variety of topics, not just the business environment, but a number of different topics, but business topics are included in here. And what happens is that it's delivered to you in 5-minute sessions and delivered directly into email so that it's easy for you to learn in a digestible way. Interestingly, this is actually led by experts that are knowledgeable in the space, and it's designed with people who are just, have busy lives and don't have an hour to invest in a class, but you can do things in bite-sized sessions, and it actually comes in multiple components. So you can pick a topic, and what it does is it's focused courses. So there's courses on, I just pulled a couple of topics that are business-based: how to make better decisions, leadership in action, the art of conversational speaking. That's a big one here in Lanyap as people are trying to get into social spaces and speak about their business. Time management for entrepreneurs. And what it does is it gives you a quick kind of course outline and said it might be in 10 parts. And these are the things that are going to be covered in those 10 parts. And then it sends it to you in email. So what's really interesting that I find is that there is a small cost to it, and it's on a monthly basis. I think when I just looked at it again, it was for a couple of courses. I was for the platform, it was like $10 a month, but there was a special for $5 a month for the entirety of the platform, by the way. But for entrepreneurs, I thought it was really good for small businesses for several reasons. One, it helps to strengthen some of your soft skills. We, again, struggle in things that are outside of our wheelhouse, and then struggle to find the time or the big investment to go to university or to take a large course. So this is an affordable way to do it. It has a quick way for you to learn a lot of different things. And because there's regular engagement, you get new ideas, you understand different technology in an adaptable way that's good for you. And it's crucial for your business and a long-term success model for you. It helps you to improve your decision-making process because these are practical courses that you can apply right away. And it will help you navigate through challenging times that you may have, or help you to manage through things a bit more effectively. Again, it's affordable and scalable, so you can do this for you, or you can sign up and do a model that works for your team as well. And I think on the other side, we're so entrenched in our everyday world. It's a way to actually help to boost your morale and your skill set. It helps your team develop and rise together, and it helps to foster collaboration and engagement across your team if we are all as a group involved in a specific topic. So I just thought from a learning perspective, a little bit different, but something to bring to the table for our community. What do you guys think?
I think it sounds like a winner. As a small businesses, it's easy to get off of that learning track, right? And you said it. We tend to be very good in one specific area in our business and not necessarily good at the entire business. So listening to it and, reading notes, it's that opportunity, and the delivery of it is so intriguing, that bite-sized daily email. Like, I'm like, oh, that sounds like it's made tailor-made for me, right? And, you're not going through like chapters and huge things. It's, one bit a day. And all the reasons that you said, right? You need to keep your team up to speed. You need to keep your team in a continuous learning mode, because that's really what a big part of, maintaining or getting that competitive advantage, making sure that you're up to date, especially in this digital world where things are changing so quickly, right? So we may talk about platform takeover today, and the things that we talk about today maybe change come January 2025, right? And the way we use them, thinking of all the things that we're leaning into with AI, but they still are based on fundamental concepts. So you can't leverage some other tools if you don't have some basic foundations in place. So everything about this topic I'm liking. I'm liking this learning platform. I'm absolutely going to check it out. Andrea, what are your thoughts?
So most definitely, this has me intrigued. My favorite part is that daily or weekly email. The fact that it's telling you, hey, here's your bite-sized piece today. Because I can't tell you how many times I've subscribed to things and they give you the access, they send you the email and say, hey, here's your access code and whatever. And just the effort to log in, when to just log in and do it, I forget about the course. I completely forget about it. It's like, oh right, I signed up for that. Like right now, as you did it there, I was like, oh yes, I did sign up for a course a while ago. It's still there. I'm sure it's there. I paid for it. But I just the effort of having to log into yet another thing and access it, it's creating a bit of friction for me. But I love the part of where they say, here, it's right here, you can do your, so even if I miss a few days, I go right back in my email and I could find one after the other, right? You could just look and you could binge. So I think that's the favorite part, one of the favorite, well, the favorite parts. The second part that I like is the bite-sized pieces that allow you, as somebody, a business owner, or anybody, but in particular as a business owner, to learn enough about the other areas of your business to function. One of my mantras when I do training or when I'm educating business owners, especially about my area, which is accounting, taxation, etc., I always say, I am not trying to teach you how to be an accountant. I'm not trying to teach you how to be an expert. My conversations is really about getting you familiar enough with the topic so that you can have an educated discussion with someone who's an expert. And I feel like these little bite-sized pieces allows you to become more well-rounded in your, as a business owner. So yes, we have our area of genius, which is whatever we are, our special skill is. But if I could get something that's in bite size and I could learn about digital marketing, or I could learn about um, some other area of the business in this little bite-sized way, it allows me to have an appreciation for something and be able to hold a better conversation with other business owners, with an expert in the area, so that I could make a better decision. I love that part of it because I'm a big advocate for, you don't have to be jack of all trades. That's not what we're here to do. But you do have to understand you do have to have an appreciation for the other aspects. Because when you have the appreciation, you understand how things interact, you make better decisions. So I love the fact that they're doing it in this bite-sized way. It allows you to get that little bit of information. And yeah, just that email, sending it to me daily, that's the game changer. That's an absolute game changer.
Yeah. What I like about it too is that it's a reference place for you to go back to as well. So that you always have it. So however you file things, you can put it back there and say, and go back to refer to it, periodically. And then the psychological component of it. One of the things that I manage through often with my lanyard clients is that, we're in this entrepreneurial space, and most of us, we have a lot of alpha personalities, and we have very strong personalities, very leader driven people in most instances. And then we have those that are trying to become leaders, and the ability to be vulnerable enough to say, I just don't know that, or I'm uncomfortable. It's very difficult, especially in my craft, where we're dealing with, it is imperative for you to learn how to speak about your business, and for you to exude confidence, and to, I don't want to say fake it until you make it, but show that and are trustworthy. And some of those skills are built over the course of time, learning to confidently walk in the room and scan the room and walk up to somebody and say, hi, I'm Michelle Gordon. I'm with Lanyard Digital Consulting. What are you here for? Or finding the fine things, so conversational speaking, or how to sell something, and to find that elevator pitch, and understand how to do those things, or to lead someone when you've never led someone, when you think you're a party of one, and understanding what those soft skills are, having a place to independently learn that. For some people, it's really important to approach it that way, and highbrow allows not just the quickness of it all, and to manage into it, but also give you a private moment, if that is your personality, to deal, to manage into it and to learn and grow. The next one we'll talk about is a little different, but I think that I found really interesting, and to manage it on the go. I don't have to be in front of a computer. I can, read it on my mobile and be on the go somewhere, and still absorb the information, and learn and grow, and have multiple things running at one time. I thought that was interesting too, that it manages into your personality and what your work needs are. But there are a lot of other personal things that you can go into that are just of interest, that I think will also help you grow as a business person as well, because it's showing that you have something going on for you beyond just, what you're dealing with your specific business.
All right, so we are on the learning track right now, and we'll continue the learning track for a little longer. So we're going to talk about another online learning platform, P2PU. And it's an online platform providing free peer-supported learning opportunities, offers resources like workshops and self-directed courses, of course, all the end goal of enhancing your knowledge and your skills. So Michelle, tell us about this one and what some of the differences are.
All right. So again, on the learning track again, but this one is slightly different in that it is peer supported. So this one is varied as well. There's over 200 topics. That's free. This is a free platform. It is P2P, so peer-to-peer university.org. University meaning like universal learning. You know, we all have been to the University of YouTube that we have all been dealing with, and this one's just a little bit different, but it does cover a diverse group of topics, including those that are very business-based, like entrepreneurship, marketing, finance, and communication, amongst the many courses that are there. This one is community-based learning. It is a peer-led session that's there, and it encourages, in this instance, instead of one-on-one and that quick bite size, it's a collaborative environment and shared expertise amongst people that have experienced the craft that you're trying to seek and has just a lot of experience in a specific background. So this one is delivered a little differently in the courses. It is real world application and it is self-paced study. However, the lessons are often facilitated by experienced professionals in those industries, also with volunteers and community leaders. So one of the things that I thought would be good for us to talk about as some of the takeaways is that it is collaborative. It's community-based learning. So a peer or another peer provides that connection for you and helps you in problem solving opportunities. And I thought that was interesting because there's some real life application for what we're experiencing in our businesses that could be really relevant to a lot of not just budding entrepreneurs, but people who are shifting and pivoting into different areas. That skill diversification I thought was really interesting because it can help to fill those knowledge gaps that we have. And it helps us to be a bit more effective in our business world. Practical application I thought was really relevant in this instance. So because these courses are done by people that are actually walk the talk, it allows you to understand a designed application for your daily operation of your business. It's customized to your own schedule because remember, these formats remain flexible as we saw in the last one, and you may manage this at your own individual pace. And it can't be any more accessible or affordable. It's $3.99, and it is inclusive for everyone, regardless of what your pocketbook is and what your resources are. If you can get to any online arena, you can get to P2P University. So different little thing for a different way of learning, but I thought just another way for us to enhance our skill set in just a slightly different way.
I actually like the subtle difference. What I'm hearing as well is, exposure as a business owner, because you're going to be networking. Think of, when you're in school and you're in class, you're going to talk to people, and now you are in you're in a space where it's other businesses, and anything that anyone else is learning might be a product that you sell or a problem that you solve, etc. Right? Because everybody's learning something else. So to me, I hear like a great opportunity as well to, be seen, be known. Of course, there's some reputational factor that comes in there because they're like, oh, I see this person from this business working this hard, doing these things, etc. So all of those things within that platform, I'm getting that you probably could get some more takeaways just beyond that self-learning track and professional development track, because again, you're in a space with professionals learning. So think of it as that conference that's just constantly ongoing, right? And you are connecting with people, and then you may end up showing up as an expert inadvertently in a space, right? So a great reason to be part of these platforms, to look at them. Andrea, I'm going to pass it to you for some of your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I was going on the same road as your thought in terms it sounds like the ability for you as a business owner to put yourself as an expert in a space because it's peer to peer. So you could say, hey, this is what I know how to do this. I am the expert here, and let me give you these bite-sized little pieces or um in pieces of information for you to digest. So I love the fact that it really does allow for you to become the expert. um, I love the community part. It sounds like it's community building as well. You'll be in this space. Michelle, is it that you log in live or you're looking at it on demand?
It's there's a measure of both. There's a component of both where there can be a live component of it, and that one's
Right.
a little interesting because you've got to find the right timing so that there is some time commitment and flexibility that you have to have in your schedule. But then there are others that are just self-paced that you can go through, and you're absolutely right. You have the ability to be the expert in the space and to offer the course and to be, you know, to put yourself out there and to say, let me provide something and offer it to the group. And again, it's free. It's free. You can
Yeah.
just get in and you can manage into the courses any way that you want to. And I thought that was really interesting of the real life application. So it takes the university and the instruction in a different manner because you can really say, I experienced this and learn from my lessons, or here's the long way, but also here's a short way. And I thought that was really interesting to hear, to afford yourself the opportunity to learn different experiences and find your own seat at the table based upon, you know, what works for you. And there's no one way to do everything. And I enjoy that community component of it, of the collaboration as well, because there are environments within that group, what with in P2PU, that allows you, like you said, Andrea, to have, let me find like-minded people or some people that are at least in the same interest, and afford you the ability to have that dialogue.
Yeah, these this again, just like the Pinterest, these are the little opportunities that it's almost like seeds that you could be planting that could grow into something. Because of course, when we're talking about things like this, it's not going to be an immediate, it's not going to give you an immediate return or immediate sale. But I like that it's allowing a seed to be planted as it pertains to um, two ways. You as a business owner, if you were to do a course, if you were to present yourself as an expert in this space, and then as you as a consumer of the courses, to be enhanced for you now to generally just be to learn something, you know. So you'll be learning, and we all know learnings are, you know, it takes time to build and whatnot. So these are the little seeds of opportunity that I think small business owners need to pay attention. I think this is a fantastic opportunity for, as a small business owner, to present yourself in a way away from the noise of social media, away from the noise of social media, in a nice, serious learning way, so that people, the like mind, I like it's the like mindedness about it. You're not just out there putting your videos on YouTube and along, and right next to your video there's a music video, because people, you know, because there's just so much noise, right? You don't know what people are scrolling. People are, you know, one minute they watch your video on how to do something, and next minute they're watching a Rihanna video. Like, it just, you know. So I like the fact that if you're on this space, you're saying to people, you know, you're dealing with a group of serious people that want to learn. I think I like this idea.
Michelle, thank you for bringing those two learning platforms to the discussion this morning. I'm going to round up this one with you know, learning as part of your business regimen on the whole. A lot of the platforms that we talk about have spin-offs that are universities, that are learning centers, etc. And you definitely want to avail yourself of them for all of the reasons we just discussed. They also can provide possible opportunities, as Andrea mentioned, to show up as the expert in this space. So take a look at learning platforms, not only from the perspective of, you know, increasing those professional skills, that professional development, but also another place that you can be visible and your business can be visible. So that takes us, so I thank you, Michelle. I know you took us down this road for a specific reason, which is learn how to sell better. That's Michelle's core message if you didn't hear it, right? A lot of business owners, they're good at their core service, but they may not be good at sales. So definitely a place to start to learn about sales if you're not feeling that comfortable with, as she said, going into that room and being able to spot those leads. I mean, she says it and it sounds like she has a superpower all of her own. So we will just leave that there. Definitely check out those platforms. So this takes it to my turn, right? And of course, being who I am and what I do, I'm going to look at some operational type stuff. So we're going to start off with ClickUp AI, and it's called ClickUp Brain. So Brain is a collection of conversational, contextual, role-based AI features. You'll always hear that when anybody's describing AI. Conventional, conversational, contextual, and role-based. And it's available everywhere in ClickUp. And you're going to use these features, of course, to connect your organizations, people, and tasks, and etc. So what can you really do with this? I am all about productivity. I'm all about operations and process. So first thing you want to do, and we have been accustomed with AI for writing, but now imagine you're taking that document, that project document, and generating task and subtask automatically. Or you are outlining a scenario and saying to it, give me some steps, some project steps that make sense to get this completed. So you don't even really need to start working out those project steps, be that project manager in that way. You can have it just generate the task. Now, of course, in any project management or work management tool, after a while, and after a short while at that, it's going to be filled with data. Who's working on what, when, how, etc., etc. AI is going to, in ClickUp's instance, AI is going to allow you to summarize a lot of these things. So summarize who's working on what, where is this project at? And imagine you're not going to do that search. So again, search is changing and it's going to change on each platform. But AI is really there now to say, well, listen, I can see quickly what my team is working on, what are the updates, get it all summarized by project, by teammate, by team member, by colleague during a selected period of time if I want. I can also summarize my docs, my task, and my inbox threads. Now, that's a huge important thing. Now, we are all accustomed as business owners that we can get some email threads meaning that it continues, a conversation that has continued. It's a thread. So it started back in August, maybe, right? And we're now in December. And for whatever reason, you need to get a summary of all of that information in one. Now, which one of us hasn't gone through emails to walk back through emails to find out where did we leave this project? What was the last update, etc. So ClickUp's brain is going to summarize all of those things, inbox comments, if you connect your inbox, and give you that summary data just at a glance. And now my favorite thing with AI and ClickUp is building automations and using natural language to do that. Now, automations are something that we all aspire to, but we all struggle with. Why? Because you've got to start with that process map. You've got to be clear. What are the steps involved that I'm going to automate? What is this? What is the actual activity I'm going to automate? And then I have to get down into the nitty-gritty of what are the steps of that automation. So, for example, let's say I wanted to make an automation that took this recording, did some work on it, uploaded it back into YouTube, and all of these tasks, I'm just going to talk to ClickUp AI Brain and say, listen, I want to just make an automation that handles this. And it will spit out all the steps and all the tasks and all the connections on its own. So obviously, the takeaways that I am bringing to the table with this are the increased productivity and efficiency. You want to be in that automation space. Automate as many, identify and automate as many tedious and time-consuming tasks as possible. We all, as business owners, know what those tasks are, right? We all have that list of things that we wish we didn't really need to do. And they need to be done, but do you really need to do it as a business owner? It's going to improve your communication and collaboration within your team. Because as I said, now, because you can summarize what's happening based on project, based on assignment of that project, assignment of work, you can now improve that collaboration, because of course you can now get those updates faster, you can reach out to team members faster, and of course you can make decisions faster. So that's just a couple of things when you're using AI within a work management tool. And in this case, I'm talking about ClickUp and its ClickUp Brain. So I'm not going to give myself any applauses just yet. I'm going to pass it around the room and get some comments.
I'll applaud you. I'll applaud you. I'll give you the applause. But I love this because the room for productivity is just mind blowing. Um, we as business owners, we get very tied down in the nitty gritty of the things, in the busyness of the business. And what keeps us busy are these, what we would now call mundane tasks. How much ever years ago it was not. It was serious. That was a measure of serious work and things moving along. But in comes technology, and technology is saying, I can help you with that. So you no longer need to worry about that. You can move on to something different. And what I am taking away from is this is now basically replacing an admin, replacing the equivalent of what we call executive assistants, admin assistants, these clerical type of duties. Small business owners, they don't have the resources to hire people full time, right? That's one of the main challenges. And you usually find, I can't tell you the amount of business owners I've spoken to, and the most they could do. So of course they can't afford to hire professionals like us full time. So then what they do is they say, well, let me hire a clerical person and get them busy. So you're paying for busyness, but you're not really paying for any sort of real insight. The person is not really offering you back any insight. So there's so many takeaways. There's a takeaway from the business owner to say, well, these tools, ClickUp as the example, is basically giving you back power and control in terms of the execution of those things. But I'm also seeing where the persons themselves who are offering these type of services, admins, virtual assistants, these type of things, y'all need to up your game, right? Because it means you now need to come to the table knowing how to use these tools for me. So if I say, well, I don't necessarily want to learn another tool, but there's a tool to do that, you need to be able to come to me and say, I'm proficient in this. Let me show you how this tool can help you. So then that person now turns around and helps you beyond just the busyness and can drive real change in your business. I am very excited about this. I mean, this is...
And you're right, it's supercharging your admin assistants, right? So even if you're not replacing it, it's a way for them to be more efficient, for them to be more productive on top of their work. Michelle, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I have so many on this one. And Michael won't remember this, but I remember when he first talked to me about ClickUp about a year. Yeah, I don't know how long ago this was. I had.
It was about 2 years ago, and he was very excited about it. I
I mean,
remember
he was
clearly.
crazy. He and I went actually through this course together, and where it was introduced to me. And I think the thing that we had opposite reactions to it. It was like we were both excited, and Michael was like, "Let me roll up my sleeves and jump into this," and I was paralyzed. In that I'm like, when am I going to find the time to map this out? I saw the big picture and I saw how it would work, it would serve me in the long run if I could just get my act together and outline all of the things that needed to do and the setup and to set it up and to implement and then revise as your business grows and as you learn how to do different things, or as you begin to function in it and you naturally begin to escalate how your business moves and operates based upon the new efficiencies that you have. And the thing that I struggled with, which is what I help to manage people through, interestingly enough, is the what is it that you're really trying to accomplish? And the AI brain helps you to get to that place faster and ClickUp and saying, oh, this is, let me put it, you say it to me, let me translate this, a translation table, and then serve it up and execute it for you if need be, or here's how to do it, and then it moves forward. And so I think from a small business perspective, and again, that space when that's not your center of greatness, it's Michael's, but absolutely not mine. Not my thing, not my thing. But this helps you to get to that space and in a faster space way that is comfortable. And I think that's key. A lot of, I think, businesses fail because they can't get to that space and move and function in there, and they move a little slower, a lot slower, to get to that space to move that forward. And I love how it not only does it, but tells you the way, but then helps you to move to that space. The thing that I love about the team play as well is that many people within your organization can do it. And if you're fortunate enough to have an EA, an executive assistant or a VA to get you through that virtually, that skill set that you can now have command of them helps you to move their skill set and utilize them in a different way. So I think there's two parts to what Andrea said to me, and that they have to come to the table with a different skill set. Before, it used to just be typing, or can you scribe faster? It is now, are you functional not just in Office or Google applications, but can you manage a ClickUp? And show me how in those things. So it's a different skill set that they're bringing to the table based upon what your business needs, but also how can you utilize their skill set a little differently that's a non-traditional, because this is escalating based technology is forcing an escalation and efficiency that if you're not moving with it, it's going to leave you behind. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons here, that we cannot afford to not understand and not know some of these things. If it's not more than just surface level, you really have to understand how you want to function as a business, and what, from a manager's perspective, is your skill set or not, and hire somebody that fills in the gaps that you are not good at. If that's not your center of greatness, if an EA is, that can move your business along, or if you're fortunate enough to have a Michael in your life who is going to tell you this is how to utilize it, and this is how we are going to run our business from an operational perspective, then good on you, because it helps to scale your business in the long run for longevity. And we talk about that here in YBID all the time. Our goal is to help you to function in that way. And you could see how Michael's eyes lit up when he talked about this. Like, oh my God. I know if Tamara were here, she would be saying, like, yeah, Michael, this is yours. Talk about this, and then begin to speak about how they are applying it real time and within Monovan, because we talk about it outside of this space, and how they utilize it. And I think, Michael, this is a great one for me. I will tell you for sure, because if y'all could see my dry erase boards and my flip charts here, as I've outlined, and used to have flip cards on, this is how I want to function in the business to manage it within ClickUp, you would understand how important this is to your business to understand how to manage your back end.
Too much. And yes, my eyes did light up. I'm not going to deny it. I get excited about the application of technology, especially for small businesses. And that takes us to our last platform, and that's Gemini for Google Workspace. Ooh, get chills just thinking about it. Where's my sound? So Gemini, so we talked about ClickUp Brain, and ClickUp is that one platform. It's work management, it's project management. Yes, you can integrate any number of apps with it, but Google Workspace is a favorite for businesses, right? It's that suite of products. It's Google Sheets, it's Google Docs, it's Google Meet, etc. Now add an AI assistant on top of the whole package, right? And what can you do? So let's talk about it a little bit. So just like we talked about with ClickUp Brain, there's this summarization feature that all the AIs are going to be doing. But in this case, Gemini can now summarize data across Docs and Gmail. So imagine you've been having that email conversation with a customer, with a prospect, with a lead. You've created documents that go with those emails. And again, it's a task to go backwards and find where you left off, what was sent, which version, etc., etc. So imagine having that assistant that can quickly say, hey, listen, this is a summary of all the things that you've talked about with Michelle and Andrea via email. And here's a summary list of the documents that you all have shared. These documents appear to be around this topic. And that's at a drop of a prompt, I have to say. Not drop of a pin, but drop of a prompt. And you can optimize sales engagement in the same way, because it can definitely summarize all of those email threads, those long email threads, those multiple email threads that help you get answers quickly. Now in Google Slides, so I'm just going to go across the Google workspace. In Google Slides, you can use the help me visualize prompt, and that allows you to create images, custom images. You can further customize those images by saying add a style to add those visuals that feel more like your brand, right? So again, ways to quickly come to draft content, ways to quickly get that content ready and decide whether this is the direction you want to go. Now we're going to shift across to Google Sheets. You can, with just a few short words in a prompt, quickly create a project tracker. So you're not using a ClickUp or Salesforce or Monday or Slack or something like that, but you're using Google Sheets. Well, Google Sheets Gemini will allow you to create that project tracker just with, again, drop of a prompt. And of course, enhancement of your customer satisfaction and improving your customer retention, because you can use you can use Gemini with Google Meet and that recording and transcription to generate your meeting recaps and summary of what was discussed. So again, the takeaways are simple, right? It's enhanced productivity and efficiency. You are now doing tasks that would take more time in way less time, in a fraction of the time, with that integration. You're using data-driven insights. So Gemini is using your data to work with and manipulate and come up with that result so that you can make decisions faster. So let's take this example. You have a client, you want to know, listen, how much has this client paid me up to this point? What have I sold this client? And what are my possible upsells based on my product offering? Guess who's going to do that for you? So those are just some of the things. And of course, you're going into streamlined workflows, just as I talked with ClickUp, but it's an integration that's across the entire Google workspace. I have used it in ways of saying, listen, I can just talk to it, and this is where the conversational comes in. So I'll give you this work example, this real life work example that I've done. So I can say to Gemini, listen, I need help organizing my week. And I just simply describe things that I do in the week. I have a podcast on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I typically have a team meeting 3 times a week. It's usually at this time. I would like time to meet with clients, and I would like separate time to work on projects internally. It will generate, of course, a document and tell me you can do it in this way, and I'll make modifications. But then the kicker comes. Yes, I would like you to implement this on my calendar for me. And it will just drop it into your calendar. So talk about efficiency. And this is really Google's Hey Google, the Google Assistant, being supercharged up to Gemini. So if it's anything I'm really excited about, it's this very close link between Google Workspace and Gemini, which allows you across the entire Google Workspace to operate with AI, not just for writing content, not just for writing those short replies, but for managing work, for managing flows, for developing processes, etc., and for data insights. That's the first little glance we're getting at data insights for Gemini. And of course, I'm seeing it so much, it keeps opening on my phone. So what do you all think of this one?
I'll go. Go ahead, Andrea, you go.
Love, love, love. I could see that you love it as well. Michael's face lit up again. For those of you who may be listening and not watching, Michael's face lit up again. But this, again, is just, I like what you say, supercharging, right? Because That's the narrative that we need to carry with AI. A lot of things with AI, everything now has AI. Let's just put that out there, right? AI is going to be the buzzword from now. It's been the buzzword, it's going to get even more so. But um supercharging your empowering your staff, empowering your admins to do more. So, because the narrative so far has been it's coming to take away, right? And we've had this conversation already on this show multiple times. And I always remember, I can't remember his name right now, but the guest that we had that said it was think of AI as your sous chef, right? And I always remember that because, yes, it's really about helping you be more efficient and be more productive. And taking a tool now like Gemini and applying it across multiple things within your suite, I think that is genius because then that now ensures that you can use all of the items in all of the apps in the suite, because sometimes we have a Google Workspace and a lot of times we don't utilize all of the applications in it. We're in the Google Doc space, we probably use in the calendar, but we probably don't use slides because we default into our good old fashioned PowerPoint, or we may go on a Canva. But I just love the fact that it says, here's this one tool that can help you do things across our entire platform. I think, oh, Tamara's saying, all hail productivity. Yes, it really does. It really does make you more productive. And then I think that's the takeaway for me is that if you are a small business owner, this is the space that you want to be in. You want to be looking at these tools that is powered by AI. You want to employ people who are also empowered by AI. So people who are providing support to you need to be able to demonstrate, hey, I can use AI as well, because in every single app, there's now elements of AI in it. So I love Gemini. I think I'm really going to check it out and see how I could bring it into my space.
Go with it, Michelle.
I can't tell you how much I love this, and I'm going to say it in a different way. In that, because I actually use one of its competitors, the Office 365 Microsoft application, in the same way, and have been. It is powerful. It is crazy how much it's opened me up in a different way, and I'm a lot more creative, a lot more efficient, and I manage time differently. But I'm going to put it in a way that's a business lesson for us to consider, and how they have just differentiated themselves and just put their competition on notice in a bunch of different ways. We have, as Andrea alluded to, have managed our world in disparate ways. We might have Canva, we might have Calendly, we might have, Word applications, or pick. There's so many different things that are out there now for you to utilize AI, including ChatGPT. A bunch of different ways for you to do it. And what Google is saying is, we have it all under one roof. And let us show you how to use our enterprise. We're going to afford you the lessons. We are here to help you to manage your business differently. And let me show you the way. We're going to have an assistant that's available to you to help you to think through these things and serve it up to you in a way that makes sense for your personality. But we're going to speak differently to Tamara or to Chantal to help them, but bring it all together so that you can work cohesively as a team in one way. And here's the suite of products that we have for you. In doing that, they have just blocked out ChatGPT in an affordable way. Microsoft, they have moved Calendly out of the way, because you have, the calendar option. They have moved Zoom out of the way because there's Google Meet. So all of those different places that you can plug and play, but you manage it disparately, they're saying, no, but let me make this cohesive so it can move things from one place to another. It helps you with your customer experience, because as you are having that Google Meet and you're recording it, it's also summarizing the meeting notes that can be pushed to your client if need be, along with the action items, and allowing you to place it in your calendars and hold each other accountable for it. So your user experience for you and your client satisfaction also improves. So I think from a business perspective, and as from a lanyard, from what I talk to with my clients, talking about a game changer. This is how you differentiate yourself and Google, along with what I do with what I have with Microsoft. Like you would have to pull that out of my dead cold hand to move that away, because I found the way. And what it also helps me to do, Andrea, I know you're loving this piece. It helps me to manage my finances is differently, because I'm going to get rid of Zoom. I'm going to move myself away from Calendly, and actually interact. You're on notice too, because within I'm breaking up. Yes, Tamara says she's breaking up with ChatGPT for Gemini, and I completely understand it, because same thing in Microsoft Office and Copilot, it's the same thing, because you're able to manage all of your things within that application, and it makes you stronger if utilizing the application appropriately. So it helps you to manage your money better as well. So learn it. And as you see, Michael's eyes lit up, and mine did too, because as I started learning it and certifying in it as well, I think Google, I noticed that as well. It gives you little tests and certifications to say, yes, I am aware. Yes, I do know, to help you to remain sticky with the business. It helps you invested in your partner in that business. Therefore, when it's time to renew, you're so invested in it, you wouldn't think it is. Another thing we say in this space: are you an option or you're a need? It is a need for you. And Gemini is getting, and Google in their enterprise is becoming a place where it is a need for your business, and it's not an option. All of those other things are an option to your business. And that's your lanyard. That's Google's differentiator in that space. Fabulous.
Oh, now that's yes, I'm excited. Thanks for sharing the excitement. But I want us all to imagine, you're opening your desk for the morning. You start your computer up, right? And what do we mostly go to first? Gmail, your email, or your calendar, right? So with Gemini, you're talking about opening Gemini first and talking to Gemini, so that you are starting your day saying, can you tell me, summarize the latest emails that I have, or any email that's come in today? Can you summarize what my week looks like for me as far as my calendar? Can you tell me whatever tasks that I have that are outstanding? So, of course, you're now talking to an assistant, right? So, as I said, they've supercharged Google Assistant. Hey, Google, call it Gemini. And now that's where we're at. So, definitely check out if you haven't. Even if you have a personal Gmail account and you've installed the Gemini, make sure it's fully connected, make sure you've turned on the extensions, and start trying out some of these things with AI and Google Workspace. So that brings us to the top of the hour. Thank you all both for being here this morning. Tamara, thank you for watching and making sure that you had your comments in. We hope you're feeling better. It's been a great talk this morning. If you've missed it, go back and listen to the replay. We've been talking about some of our favorite platforms and what's happening. This morning, we've talked about the learning platforms, 2 learning platforms. We've talked about Pinterest. And of course, we've talked about AI in two areas, ClickUp and in Google Workspace. So I'm just going to pass it around for final thoughts before we close out. Michelle, you go ahead.
I enjoyed this one. This is, I know the learning component, and us shifting our focus and helping our community in a different way. I really enjoy how we're helping each other learn something new and different. For everyone that celebrates, be safe. Enjoy and take a moment to relax in this ever so crazy fourth quarter, where we're trying to make sure our businesses succeed, but find a place that we are all thankful. I'm thankful for being in this environment with my full cohorts, even though one is just not with us today. And T, we really miss you, but I'm thankful that you tune in to your business in digital and are part of our community, and we are happy that we are here to serve you and to help you and your business grow, and to be here for 2025 and beyond. So thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, T, for sharing this space with me and allowing me to be here with you and share our message and what we have here for our community out there in the interwebs.
So I just want everybody to think about what we've said today. I mean, I love when we do shows like this where we tackle all these different platforms, and the key message coming across is technology the core thing here is that technology can help you in every step of the business. If you don't know that by now, I don't know how you're running your business, right? Be plain and simple. So get with some sort of technology to help run your business. As you can see, we had to take 2 shows to go through, and this was just highlighting changes to things that we haven't even addressed the entire bandwidth of what is out there. So you really need to pay attention to how does technology and different platforms help you in your business to drive productivity, to drive efficiency, because with efficiency comes savings in money, and with productivity comes increased earning potential. So take a look at what is out there and implement them in your business.
So yes, that rounds up our second part of the platform takeover. Thanks for joining us. Again, we are your business in digital, and we are here to make sure you're leveraging digital marketing and digital tools to make sure that your business is performing the way you want to. Of course, we bring all the players to the table. We have a digital strategist, Tamara, who's not here this morning. We have Michelle Gordon, who is a pricing and sales expert, and Andrew Ragu, our virtual CFO and our real CFO as far as we are concerned, and myself, who handles sales and operations. So remember, we want you to connect with us. We want you to tell a small business owner about us, tell a CFO, tell a CMO, and connect with us everywhere. Connect with us on YouTube, or on LinkedIn, or anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcasts. And that brings us to the top of the hour. Thank you for joining us. This has been Your Business in Digital. See you next week.